Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesh Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Mataji. So we were to start from this section 4, that Niskam Yoga, to set correct example. Correct Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So we will be reciting today's sloka. I may co-host that person so that can be recited.
Can you please make Chitra Mataji the co-host,
Yes,
Prabhu?
Mataji, can you raise hand? Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should
Raise the
start.
hand.
So yes. So Niskam Karaoke. So and what is the thinking of? So in this the chapter previous to this section, that is section 1, 2, and 3, we have read two things. Arjuna was asking, which is best, renunciation is best or working under Krishna's service is best. Okay, so that is the that is the confusion Arjuna was having, and Krishna is saying that you work, you should do your duty and always remember me. That is what Krishna was saying, that is Niskam Karma Yoga. You should not work for the fruits. Fruit you should give to me. So that is the Niskam Karma Yoga, Krishna was describing. And now then again Niskam Karma Yogi may conclude. So Niskam Karma Yogi may think, my prescribed duty are meant to bring material rewards. So if I am doing my prescribed duty, that is meant to bring the material reward. So the next thinking what he is having, but I do not have any material desire in this life, nor I do desire Swargaloka. I know I am not this body. So he's thinking, I am not this body. Okay, I have this knowledge that I am not this body. So I should not do any work for this body because I do not have any material desire, because I am not this body. I do not work Swargaloka also. I do not want higher planet also. So why should I perform my prescribed duty? So why should I work? So now Krishna will introduce one more concept why we should work. Even we are elevated in the spiritual life, even we are so developed in the spiritual life, then also we should work. Okay, so why we should work? So Krishna will be giving the reason why we should work. So in the following verses from the 3.16 to 3.32, Krishna explained why one free from material desire should nevertheless perform his duty. So Krishna was saying, even you have only adhikar of doing the karma, okay, but if this doesn't, and you should not be attached to the fruits of action, but this doesn't mean that you should not do your duty. So why we should not leave our duty? Krishna will be giving reasons why we should not leave our duty. So in the sloka number 18 to 26, answer to Arjuna's argument, destruction of the family tradition, Krishna will be giving answer to this sloka also. Okay, this confusion also. Okay, so let's read. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. My voice is audible, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Yes. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येवाच सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते.
So Krishna is saying, I was getting the call. Okay. My voice audible now? Let's start. So, but for one who takes pleasure in self, whose human life is one of self-relation, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satisfied, for him there is no duty. So, one person, one may think that everyone should have duty. So, two types of duty is there. So let's describe this sloka. Let's try to understand this sloka. Krishna is saying there is two types of. If you read the words of the sloka written by Sri Prabhupada, you will come to know there are two types of duty. Okay, one is the duty for your material body. One is the duty for the spiritual body. Okay, so spiritual self. So one duty is for the body, like the daily activity you are doing, the activity you are doing, you are earning, you are taking care of the family, you are taking care of all the requirements for the body. So that is the duty for your material body. One duty is, another duty is there that is above that material body. That is duty for your soul. So what is the duty for your soul? It's like chanting. Okay, chanting is the duty for your soul. Okay, and deity worship. Okay, these are the for your soul activity. So one can leave this material activity. If one is vairagi, then he can leave this activity for the material body. But even though a vairagi is there, he should not leave the activity for the self. Okay, and one is not vairagi, when is in Krishna consciousness, what he can do? He can do all the activity, both activity, but he is not attached to the results. He will be doing the activity, but not attached to the results. And how can one become a vairagi? Not in the earlier stage. Purification is required to become a vairagi. So not like that you can leave the activity, your daily activity, at sudden you cannot leave all those activity. One need purification. If one is purified, then he can leave this activity for the body. He can do his spiritual activities only. So that is the thing. So one who can take pleasure in the self. So one is self-realized, whose human life is one of the self-relation, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satisfied. For him there is no duty. Okay, so Krishna is saying for him there is no duty. That is in the sense of material duty. For the spiritual duty, he should act. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Chitra Mataji, we can't hear you.
Hello.
There is some problem from her side, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, now we can hear.
Yeah. Naiva tasya कृतेनार्थः न कृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चित् अर्थव्यपश्रयः.
So a self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duty, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living beings. Self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill. So Krishna is saying one self-realized person is there self-realized person is there, so he doesn't have any duty to perform the material duty. There's no duty for him, nor has he any reason to perform such a, nor has he any need to depend on any other living entity. But still, then he is acting. Why he is acting? Let's try to read. Okay. Yes. Hare Krishna, Chitra.
Unmute. I had to unmute. Tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma param apnoti purushaha.
Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activity, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. So, again, the Nishkam Karma Krishna is saying that we should do our work without attachment to the result of action. It's not like we should leave the work. Without purification, we cannot leave the material work. Okay, so one level of purification is required. After that, if we're self-realized, fully self-realized, then we can leave the material work. But we cannot leave the material all of a sudden. So we should do our duty regularly. We should do our duty, and we should keep Krishna in the center. We should dedicate the fruits of the our act. We should give the fruits. We should dedicate the fruits of our act to Krishna, so that we can gradually elevate. Okay, and we can come in self-realization state. Yes. Now Krishna is giving reason why self-realized man, even he is elevated, why he should act. Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. Karmaneva hi samsiddhim astikta janakadayah lokasangraham evapi samapashyam kartum arhasi.
King such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duty. So King Janaka, there he is a very self-realized person. So he was father of Janaki. Okay, he was father of Sita, but he was a very self-realized person. But still he was doing the duty as a king. Why he was doing that? Still, King such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duty. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Okay, so what is it? Krishna is saying here, even though you are a great soul, even you are self-realized person, you should do your duty, because the people, certain people are there who are following you. Okay, so people are following you because now because Janaka is a king. Okay, and the praja, his praja will be following him. Okay, so if he doesn't do any activity, if he doesn't do any duty, the people will be following him. So what he should do? He should engage the people in such a way that they are doing their duty, and they are doing it for the Krishna service, as a Krishna service. They are doing not at the material platform. So he should act in such a way that he can show people that we should act such that not in the we should act for the Krishna, so that gradual elevation will be there. So people generally follow the king. Okay, the people in general, what happens? People in general generally follow their leader, their king. So the king should not leave the action like that. Okay, so Krishna is saying, even if you are self-realized person, many people are there who are following you. So you should not leave your action. You should not leave your work, prescribed duty. So to give example to the people who are following you, you should act. Okay. Yes, very important sloka, this one.
Yeah. Yad yad yacharati shreshtaha tat tat evetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate.
So let's try to decode this sloka. Yad yad achati shrestha. So achati means a great man. Like a great man can be a leader. Okay, that is the people who are following him, or a teacher, because some people will be following, or a father, or a young or a elder person in the family, because younger person will be following him. So, but Krishna is saying, yad yad achati shrestha. Shrestha means younger, elder people or leader, or Shrestha means the people who are great. Okay, so great man. So yad yad ashati Shrestha. So the action which the great mans are following, great mans are doing, tat tat evataro jana. So normal people will follow them. Okay, so Krishna is saying the great person, whatever action he is doing, the normal people will be following it. This is like Janaka. He was a king. So the praja, his praja will be following him like that. Sayat pramanam kurute. So like what praman he used to give, what example he used to give. Lokas tad anuvartate. The anuvartate means following. So lokas is normal people. So local people will be following whatever example he is doing, whatever example he is giving by his work. So let's try to read the translation. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. Okay. So it is not like written like whatever action a great man is saying, general people follow. The word is whatever action a great man performs. Okay, the common man follow. So there comes the meaning of acharya. The acharya means the person who teaches by achar. Achar is character, by behavior. So the person who teaches by his behavior is called an acharya or a great man. So whatever action he is doing, the normal person will be following it. Okay. And whatever standard is set by exemplary act, all the world will pursue. So it is not like that if a person is saying we should stop smoking cigarette and he himself is smoking, then what will happen? The normal people won't follow him. They will be smoking because his leader is also smoking. Whatever he is saying, he may be saying we should stop smoking, but the normal people won't listen because he is himself doing. Okay, so great man should give example by his work so that normal people will follow. Just like Janaka was giving example that he should work. Just like Krishna is giving the example. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the proprietor of all the living entity. He is the proprietor of all the universe. He is the proprietor of every planet, every animal, every entity. Okay, he is the all the living entity, all the nature is under him. Okay, and he doesn't want anything. If we are doing anything, that means we want something. If we are doing any duty, that means that we want something. Okay, but all the world belongs to him, all the universe belongs to him. So ideally he should not work only. He should not have any, he should not do any duty, he should not perform any action only. But he is performing action as a Kshatriya. He is giving the example of a Kshatriya. Okay, why he is giving the example? All the world belongs to him because he is giving an example so that normal people can follow him. He is not, if he is giving the example like I'm a king, I'm a Kshatriya and he is not doing any work, then what will happen to the other Kshatriya who will follow him? Okay, so they will also not work. That is the thing. And one more concept is there: imitating and following. Two things are there. Okay, some people will imitate and some people will follow. So the Acharya says, if you read the Bhagavad Gita purport, it is said that we should not imitate, we should follow. Okay, so imitation means we should not imitate Krishna. So Krishna is lifting Govardhan hill. Can we lift Govardhan hill? No, we cannot lift. So great person like Krishna, like Krishna is there. So we should not try to imitate him. We should try to follow his instructions. So whatever instruction he is giving by the Bhagavad Gita, we should follow the instruction. Okay, we should not like to imitate him. Like he lifted the Govardhan hill. So if a person says, so okay, we will try to imitate Krishna. We'll lift Govardhan hill also. Okay, so some people will take ganja in the name of Lord Shiva. That Lord Shiva drunk poison. We will also drink poison. They are not drinking poison. They are just in the name of poison. They are drinking ganja. Okay, so that is the thing. So they are justifying their act in the name of Lord Shiva. So this is wrong. We should not imitate. We should try to follow Lord Shiva. We should try to, if we are a devotee of Lord Shiva, we should try to follow him. He is saying that we should follow Lord Krishna. We should follow Lord Vishnu. Okay, like that. So we should try to act on his teaching, not what he has done. We should try to do those things. So that is the wrong. So we should not do the imitation. We should follow the instruction. Okay. So this is the one thing. And the next learning from it comes is, if we are a leader. So who are the leader for this society? So three examples Prabhupada is saying, that a teacher, a father, or a king. Like a king means the leaders. Okay, the leaders. Because general people will follow the leaders. So leader, teacher, or a father. So three things Prabhupada is giving an example of the great man. So these great men should follow the Shastra so that normal person can follow. So you all are like a leader only. Every one of us is like a leader. For someone, we are a leader. Like one father is there, he is leader for the kids. He is leader for the younger generation. He is leader for the people who are in their family. So the people, some people will be following you always. If you are a elder brother, then younger brother will be following you. Okay. So every time, whatever we are doing, we are influencing someone. Okay, so what we should do, not like if a father is saying some that to the kid that you should wake up at 6 a.m. daily, and he himself is waking at 8 a.m., then what will happen? The kid won't wake up. Okay, so first you should give that you are waking up at 6 a.m., then only your kid will follow. So some people will say that their kid, you should read Bhagavad Gita daily. Okay, but the kid won't read because father is not reading. They are not giving the example. They should give the example that we are reading Bhagavad Gita daily, and we are following the reading, the characters, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in our life. Then the younger generation will know, and then they will follow. Okay, so that is the thing. So we all are leader in our life. Okay, for someone, we all are leaders. So try to imbibe the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in your life. Try to become acharya for the younger generation. Try to become leaders for the general mass people, so that they can follow you and they can get the benefit of Krishna consciousness, because you are Krishna conscious. Okay, so it is not like many people hesitate for chanting in the home. Okay? Many people hesitate. I've seen many people, they hesitate for chanting in the home. So this is then how the younger generation will chant, how the younger generation will do the chanting, how they will read the Bhagavad Gita if you're not reading in front of them. So try to give a better example to them. Okay. Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
न मे पार्थासि कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानावाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि.
O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems. So there is no work for Krishna. Nor am I in want of anything, nor I have a need to obtain anything. Everything belongs to him. He doesn't need anything. Still he is acting. Why? And yet I am engaged in the prescribed duty, just to show the example to the general people. Okay.
यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्यतीन्द्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः.
Why he is acting? For if I were failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duty, O Pritha, certainly all men would follow my path. So he is trying to give the example by acting, so that the person who are following him are on the right path. So you should also act like that for the younger generation, for the kids, for the people who are following you. Okay.
उत्सीदेयुर्नि मे लोका न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहं संकरस्य च कर्तायाम् उपहन्याम् इमा प्रजा.
If I do not perform prescribed duty, all this world would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would therefore destroy the peace of the all living being. So all world will be following me, and if I am giving them the wrong example, then I will be responsible for the destruction of those traditions. So all those people. So a father is so being a father, being a mother, being a parent is very big responsibility. Okay, it is not like that we are only a father and we are doing just the duty. It is not like that. Okay, it is a very, very big responsibility. Why it is a very, very big responsibility? Because the kids, your son, your daughter, and the younger generation is minutely observing you. Whatever you are doing, they are observing you. Constantly they are observing you, and they are imbibing your character in their character. Okay, so whatever character you have, those character your child will also have. Okay, and whatever example you are giving, that will cause their future, that will build their future, that will destroy their future, that will the cause of their future. So it is a very, very responsible job to become a father. So if you are a father, if you are a elder brother, so this is a very, very big responsibility to you, so that you act in such a way that they learn from your behavior. You should not act anything, and we should not do anything and everything. Okay, you should act in such a way that younger generation is learning good examples from our behavior. Okay, are you getting? Okay, so let's see next. Hare Krishna Mataji. Today, Chitra Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Sakta karman. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Sakta karman avidvamsa yata kurvam bharata kurya vidvamsata shaktaha chik.
Mataji, your
Hare
voice
Krishna.
is very not good today. Your network seems to be very disturbed. So, okay, so we can take any other person who can chant, because your voice is not good today. Mataji, your network seems to be not good. So if any other person can raise the hand.
Prabhuji, Kakuli Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Kakuli Mataji is there. Ravina knows Mataji. She wants to chant. Okay, Mataji.
Sure.
Okay, so let's try to understand this sloka. As the ignorant perform their duty with attachment to the result, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people in the right path. So two types of people are there. Ignorant people are there and learned people are there. Okay, so two types of people we can see. One is self-realized people and the people who are not self-realized. Two types of people we are seeing. So people we are seeing. So ignorant perform is doing their duty, and learned person is also doing their duty. Both are doing their duty. So what is the difference? So in from the above, if you see, there is no distinction only. Okay, so if they seem to act in the same, if you see a learned person doing their duty and a ignorant person doing their duty, they seems to be act in the same way. In the same way, if a self-realized person is doing some work, you will see that okay, this person is also behaving like a same normal person only, like the person who are in this material world only. So what is the difference? What is the difference between them? What is the difference between the ignorant person and the knowledgeable person? What is the difference? Both seems to do the same work only. So what is the difference? Can anyone tell me the difference in the chat box? What is the difference in the action of a learned person and an ignorant person? Both seem to act, and if you from the above, if you see, both seems to act in the same way. Both seems to act the way both actions seems to be same. So what is the difference? Where is the difference between a learned person and ignorant person? Yeah, in the chat box I'm getting many answers. Attachment to the result. It gives the result to the God. Attachment to the material gains. Yes, that is the difference. Okay, so that is the difference. For whom you are doing, that is the difference. An ignorant person will be doing the activity for his body, and a realized person, a knowledgeable person, will be doing the activity for the supreme. Okay, so that is the difference. For whom we are doing, and that way we will get the result. I will give you an example so that it's clear to you. Okay, one soldier is there. Okay, and he is in the border and he is killing the militants there. Okay, and for killing the militants, government will give the reward to the soldier. And the same soldier, when he comes to the house and he kills some other person in the house, then the government will give punishment to this person, and the government will keep the person in the jail. So what is the difference? Only both are same. Only killing. He is killing the militant there. He is killing one person there. So what is the difference? The difference is for whom this person is killing. If he is killing for the government, government won't give the punishment. He will reward this person. And if the person is doing the work for himself, he is killing for himself, then the government will give the punishment. Okay, so that is the thing for whom we are doing. So both seem to be same action. Killing a militant seems to be same action. Killing a normal person seems to be action. The same action. Killing only. So what is the difference? The difference is the consciousness for whom we are doing. So that is called Krishna consciousness. So everything, whatever thing you are doing, if you are remembering Krishna, if you are giving the results to Krishna, that things become transcendental. Every work, even many work are there in the material world. So every work is there. If you are attaching Krishna to that work becomes transcendental. So if you read, there are three types of karma. That is akarma, karma, and vikarma. So karma is the activity which you are doing and you are getting the punya result. Okay, and vikarma is you are doing the activity against the shastra, so you will be getting the papa result. Okay, so punya and papa is there, and one activity is there. You are doing a punya or papa, and if you are attaching Krishna to that, if you are doing that activity for Krishna, then that work become akarma, and that work don't have any material result. That work don't have any papa. That work don't have any punya. Okay, that work doesn't have any material result. That work has spiritual result because you are attaching Krishna to that work. So if you are attaching Krishna to any work, that work also become transcendental. Everything, anything, if you are attaching Krishna, that thing, that itself become transcendental. So that is the thing. So if you are doing any karma, even if it is punya karma, even if it's pap karma, if you are doing and attaching Krishna to that, then that becomes transcendental. If you are doing that work for Krishna, again, not against the scriptural injunction, if you are doing for the Krishna, then it becomes transcendental. Okay, so that is the thing. So the two men both are doing the action. So difference is the for whom they are doing. What is their consciousness? If they are Krishna conscious, that work itself becomes transcendental. If they are ordinary, they are ignorant, they are not doing for Krishna, then that work will cause bondage. That will work will give punya result. That will work will give papa result. So anything that can, even punya, even papa, both will cause bondage. Okay, so even for the punya result, you will have to take another body. Even for the papa result, you will have to take another body. So that is the thing. So if you are not attaching to Krishna, if you are doing any work and not attaching that to Krishna, then that work will cause bondage. If you are attaching Krishna, that work itself becomes transcendental, and that work won't cause bondage. So this is the concept of karma, karma, and vikarma. Okay. As the ignorant perform their duty with attachment to the result, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path. Okay, so transcendental persons are there; they need not to do any activity. Okay, we have read that purificatory process. They have done their purificatory process. Okay, so there is no material work for them, but still they are doing. Why they are doing? Why they are working? Because they want to lead the general people in the right path. Okay, so this is the concept. Okay, so this is the text. So two types of people are there. One is self-realized person, one is ignorant person. So self-realized person is doing work for the Krishna without attachment of the fruit of result to set the example for the normal people. So this is the thing. They are working for Krishna and without the attachment to the fruits, and to lead the people, general people, in the right way. And the other person is the ignorant person. He is doing work for the self-satisfaction with the attachment of the results. This work will cause bondage. Okay, two types of people are. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Read Prabhuji.
Yeah, Ravina Mataji.
Na buddhi bhedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yuktah samacharan.
So let's read the translation. So, as not to disturb the mind of ignorant man attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duty, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sort of activity for gradual development of Krishna consciousness. So two types of people are there: learned people are there, ignorant people are there. So learned person should not stop the activity of the ignorant person. Rather, they should engage the ignorant person, because learned person should act as a leader, and they should engage the ignorant person in such a way that they are doing their duty, and they are gradually elevating them to Krishna consciousness. So this is the concept. Okay.
प्रकृतेः क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकारविमूढात्मा कर्ताहम् इति मन्यते.
So the soul, the spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of the activity that are actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. So spirit soul is there, he is doing the activity. Okay, the spirit soul is doing the activity under the mode of material nature. So this is the concept. So the person is doing the activity in the mode of material nature. So he may think that he is only doing. So what is the difference between the two persons who are doing the activity? One person, the learned person is doing the activity, ignorant person is doing the activity. So what is the difference between them? So the ignorant person, bewildered by the mode of material nature, he thinks that he is only doing the duty, but actually he is not the only doer. So who are the actually doer? The learned person sees that he is not actually the doer. The doers are like he is also involved. Then the nature and the super soul, which is facilitating. So three things are there. So the material mode, material nature is under the mode of material nature. The soul is doing the activity under the supervision of super soul. So three things are there: soul, super soul, and the nature. So three things. So learned persons see three things who are working, who are doing all the work: soul, super soul, as well as material nature. But the ignorant person, he thinks himself only the doer. So there comes the meaning of the false ego. Ego means identification. So if you are thinking we are only the doer, we are in the false ego. That is the false identification, that we are the body and we are only doing the work. But a learned person will have the true ego. What is the meaning of true ego? That we are not the only doer. We, Krishna, as well as the nature. Okay, we are all at the doer, and we all are doing under the supervision of Supreme Soul, Super Soul, and we belong to Krishna. Okay, like that. This is the difference. Okay.
तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्मविभागयोः गुणागुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा न सज्जते.
So one who is in knowledge of absolute truth. One is the knowledge of absolute truth, though mighty arm does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between the work in devotion and work for the fruitive result. Okay, so one who is the knowledge of absolute truth does not engage in the sense and sense gratification. So sense gratification, the knowledgeable person is not doing any activity for the sense gratification. He is doing the activity for the Supreme Lord. Okay, knowing well the difference between the work in devotion and work in the fruitive activity. Okay, so this is the thing.
प्रकृतेर्गुणसम्मूढाः सज्जन्ते गुणकर्मसु तान् कृत्स्नविदो मन्दान् कृत्स्नविन्न विचालयेत्.
So, bewildered by the mode of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in the material activity and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duty are inferior to the performance lack of knowledge. So, these are the things. So, learned person, this sloka is the learned person should not stop the work of the ignorant person. So, he should engage them. He should engage them with activity in such a way that they are gradually elevated. So, it is saying, bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in the material activity and become attached. So, ignorant is doing the activity and they are becoming attached. A learned person should not unsettle them. They should engage them in such a way that they, the ignorant also become enlightened. Okay.
मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा बुद्ध्यस्व विगतज्वरः.
This is a very, very important sloka. Let's try to decode this sloka. Okay. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claim of proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. So, Mai Sarvani Karmani. Okay, so surrender unto me and do all your work. Okay, Mai Sarvani Karmani. Okay, so you should surrender unto me. I'll do all the karma, all your work. Okay, with full knowledge of me. Okay, so Chetasa is intelligence. Okay, Adhyatma Chetasa, Sannyas Adhyatma Chetasa. So with full knowledge of me, do your all your work. Okay, Nirashir without any desire of profit. Nirashir means very Nirashir means without any desire of the profit. Then Nirmamo, Mamo means my. Nirmamo means no proprietorship. So without any proprietorship, okay, without any claim to proprietorship, you should do all your act. Okay. Yuddhasva Vigata Jwara. Jwara is fever. Okay. Vigata Jwara is free from the lethargy. Vigata Jwara. So you should fight without lethargy, like fever. Jwara is fever. So let's read the meaning. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your work unto me with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit. Okay, Nirasi. With no claim to proprietorship, nirmamo, and free from the lethargy, that is Vigata Jwara, fight. Okay, you should fight. Yuddhasva means you should fight, Arjuna. Okay, so Krishna is saying, let's read the meaning here. It is very nicely coded here. Surrendering all your work unto me. Okay, so you should how you should do all your work. This is the Karma Yoga chapter. So how should you do work? Surrendering all work unto me. Then with full knowledge of me, okay, free from the lethargy, with no claim of proprietorship, no claim of proprietorship, without desire for the profit. So you should work in this way. Surrender all your work unto me, give all the results into me, without proprietorship, without the desire of the profit, with full knowledge of me, think of me in your consciousness, and free from the lethargy. Do not become lethargic. Jwara, Vigata Jwara, leave the Vigata Jwara, okay, the lethargy, and fight, do your work. Many people have this confusion. If you're reading Bhagavad Gita, you will become a sannyasi. You will leave the work, you will leave all your work, and you will go to Himalaya, you will do all only the thinking process, only the chanting, only the remembering Krishna. This will be doing, you only be doing. This is the myth about the Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna is clearly saying there is no need to do that. Do your work. How to do your work? Krishna was giving the example. So we need to do our work, but with the consciousness of Krishna, without proprietorship, without attachment to the results. Okay, surrendering all our works to Krishna. Okay, and free from the lethargy. You should act in full consciousness of Krishna like this. Okay, very, very important sloka, last sloka. Okay, Mataji, 3.31.
ये मे मतमिदं नित्यम् अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तो मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः.
Those people, those persons who execute their duty according to my injunction and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of material action. So Krishna is saying, in this way, if you are doing, what will the result? Result will be there will be no bondage of the fruitive action. So if you are doing the action and if you are giving the result to Krishna, that will become akarma. Krishna is saying, in this way, if you are doing that action becomes akarma. Okay.
ये त्वेतदभ्यसूयन्तो नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञानविमूढांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान् चेतसः.
So Krishna told that a learned person is doing in that way, then he is doing the akarma. Then what about the person who was ignorant? If they are doing, what about them? Krishna is saying about them also. But those who out of envy disregard this teaching and do not follow them regularly. So if many people are envious of Krishna, okay, many people are envious of Bhagavad Gita, they are not following the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, they are not following the teachings of Shastra. So what happens to them? So let's see. But those who out of envy disregard the teaching and do not follow them regularly are to be disregarded, are to be considered bereft of all the knowledge be fooled and ruined in their endeavor for the perfection. So there won't be any perfection. Krishna is saying, two types of people are there. One is learned people, one is ignorant people. Okay. So learned person is doing activity so that ignorant person can follow those activity. Ignorant person can become also perfect. So ignorant person is not following those activity. Ignorant person is not going to any guru. He is not following in Shastra, and he is thinking that whatever knowledge I have, I will act according to that. Whatever sin, whatever punya, whatever papa I am doing, I will have the proprietorship. He will be acting for the sense gratification. So what happens to those people? They are considered to be bereft of all knowledge people. See, he may be very materially educated, but if he is acting on the plane of the body, what happens to that? There is no perfection. No perfection means for the perfection of the soul, perfection of the this life. What is the perfection of this life? Perfection of this life, we should understand that we are not this body, we are the soul. We should act for Krishna, we should act in the way learning people act, like that. That is the perfection. The perfection is not guaranteed for those people. Perfection won't happen with those people who are not following the Shastra, who are not following any guru, who are not following any learned people. Okay, that. Yes, Mother.
सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्याः प्रकृते ज्ञानवानपि प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि निग्रहः किं करिष्यति.
Even in nature, for everyone follow the nature. What can repression accomplish? Okay. So what Krishna is saying, we should act according to our mode of nature, and then we should give that result to Krishna. Okay, like you can see 4 pictures are there: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So according to our nature, we should act those 4 modes. Any of the 4 modes according to which our nature, we should act in these modes, and then in the 3 modes, remembering Krishna, we should act, and then gradually we can elevate ourselves. Repression means suppressing our senses, artificially repressing our senses. So we have read in the first part of the 3rd chapter that artificially repressing the senses, that cannot happen, because our mind is always active. Okay, so if we are suppressing the senses only, and mind is active on the sense object of the senses, then nothing can happen. Okay, that is fall down can happen anytime. So artificial repression of senses is very, very difficult. So we should act according to the mode of nature.
इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नवशमागच्छेत् तौ ह्यस्य परिपन्थिनौ.
There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their object. So how to regulate the senses and their object, sense and sense object, how to regulate? There are principles. Okay, so if you can see in the ISKCON also, there are 4 basic principles are there. Okay, what are the 4 basic principles? Anyone knows? Yeah, you can use the chat box. What are the 4 basic principles in this ISKCON? For the purification, for the, what are the 4 pillars of dharma? Yes, one answer I have already got. No meat eating, illicit sex, meat and no alcohol, no illicit sex. No principles of dharma. Okay. So why are these dharma? These are to principle to regulate attachment and aversion. No illicit sex. What is the meaning of no illicit sex? No illicit sex means no sex outside the marriage. Okay, that is the thing. So this is a way to regulate the senses. So senses are there. So there are principles to regulate the attachment of the senses. Okay, so there are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. So we have sense object. So the sense objects, we are regulating those sense objects. Okay. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion, because they are stumbling block on the path of self-realization. So we should follow the regulative principle to control, to regulate our senses so that we can gradually progress in the path of self-realizations. Because if we are not following those regulative principles, what will happen? Because if you are not following, because those things will be a stumbling block on the path of self-realization. So if you are serious about the self-realization, then what we should do? We should follow those four regulative principles. Then only we can gradually follow in the path of self-realization. Okay. Yes, eating a person, item, meal treatment, no illicit sex means purify yourself, no meat eating, no illicit count. Yes.
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I just read it.
Yeah. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duty even though faultfully than another's duty perfectly. So this is the one concept is there. That whatever our nature, whatever the nature we acquire according to the mode of nature, we should act according to that. Other person is how it is acting, we should not comment on that. Okay. So it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duty even though faultfully. So whatever duty you have, you should do. Okay, even if you are doing faultfully, you should do your duty. It is not then to imitate the other's duty. Okay, so whatever duty you have according to your mode of nature, you should do your duty. Okay, whatever other person is doing, you should not consider that thing. So it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duty even the faultfully than another's duty perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duty, for to follow another's path is dangerous. Okay, so it is a this this means that we should act according to our mode of nature. Whatever mode of nature we have, we should act according to that. We should not copy the people in the other mode of nature. Okay, so that is like that. So how should we act? How should we do karma? Krishna is telling. So now Arjuna is asking one more question. So now Arjuna has asked one important question. So very important question. There it is. Okay. So what important question Arjuna is asking? Let's see. After hearing text number 3.34, one may determinately think, yes, from today onward I will versions. I will act according to I will act only according to Shastra. So after reading this sloka, many people will think, no, now I will do only according to Shastra. I will control my attachment. I will do only my duty. Many people will think like that. But experienced teachers state that, however, such immediate inspiration may prove difficult to adhere to over time. So you may think like that, but it won't last long. Why? Arjuna, being aware of this reality, asked the following question. So Arjuna knows that this is going to happen. People have knowledge, still having knowledge, they are not able to follow. Okay, people have knowledge that we should not do these things, still people are doing. People have knowledge that we should do these things, we should chant regularly, we should read Bhagavad Gita, we should do according to Shastra. People know this, still they are not able to do. So what is that which is forcing them not to do all those activities? So Arjuna is asking, even knowing after all those things we are not able to follow. So what is that reason? Why we are not able to follow? So let's read what is the Arjuna's question. Yes, Mataji.
Arjuna Uvacha अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वाष्णेय ब्लादिव नियोजितः.
Balad means like a ball. Yeah, ball, like a ball. So someone is forcing. So Arjuna is asking. Arjuna said, "O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?" So what is that force, Krishna? Even we know that this work is wrong, we are engaged in that work. What is that force? What is that force which is causing us to engage in that work? Okay. So can anyone, does anyone have the answer? What is that force? What is that force which is causing? Even if we know this is good, this engage in that work. What is that action? What is that? Any answer? Fatapat, fatapat, fatapat. First level you have done. Maya, intelligence, greed, lust, calm. Fatapat, you should answer. Everyone should answer this. What is that reason? What is that force which causes us to act even if we have knowledge? What is that action? Calm, growth, moh, maya, mat, matsarya, perverted nature, ego, maya, sinful acts, seven sins, lust. What is that answer? Many people are saying the picture and they're okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, these seven sins are causing many. One of these. What is the answer? Is there only in the picture? What is that answer? Which is impelling ignorance. Okay. The answer is here. What is this? What is this? This is the greatest enemy of soul. What is this?
Greed.
This is lust. Greed is there, Mataji. This is lust. Okay. So this is the lust. The lust is the greatest enemy. So let's read about those. What is the answer of Krishna? Then we will be able to understand. So what is Sri Bhagavan Vachmataji? Please read.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha Mahashanu Mahapapma Vidye Namiha Vairinam.
Okay. Supreme Personality of God has said, it is lust. Answer. It is the lust. What is that force which is impelling? Even if we are knowing that this is good, this is bad, we are not able to act. What is that? That is the what is that? That force. That force is lust only. Okay. The Supreme Personality of God has said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all devouring sinful enemy in this world. So, what is the greatest enemy of the soul in this world? The greatest enemy of the soul in this world is lust only, which is born out of mode of passion. So we are working in the mode of passion, and we are having too many desires, okay, unlimited desire. Okay, and if the desires is becoming intense, that is called lust. Okay, so we can go from the mode of passion to the mode of ignorance gradually. If we are feeding the lust, then what will happen? We'll go toward the mode of ignorance. Okay, and if we are one other path is also there. Okay, if we are not feeding that lust, if we are working for Krishna, then we can go toward the mode of goodness. So two ways are there. We are working in the mode of passion, that is causing the lust. So lust is born out of contact with the mode of passion. Okay, so from the passion we can go to the mode of ignorance. If we are feeding the lust, then we will go to the mode of ignorance. If we are not feeding the lust, if we are working for Krishna, then that lust will be converted to the love. Okay, so lust is there, that is perverted reflection of the love. So in the spiritual world, love for Krishna is there. In the material world, that love can be converted to lust. Okay, so if if we're feeding, then we will go to the mode of ignorance. If we are having love, then we will go toward the Krishna. So two paths are there. Okay, one is toward the ignorance, one is toward the goodness. Okay, so in the mode of passion, the lust is being born. Okay, and transform into wrath, that is growth. So if lust is not satisfied, that will convert to growth, that is wrath. Okay, so 8 stages of fall down we have read. Okay, so in the chapter number 2 we have read 8 stages of fall down. So first was the contemplation of the object of the senses. So that was the first. Then attachment will develop from that. Okay, so first was the contemplation, then attachment develop. Attachment will lead to intense attachment, that is lead to lust. Okay, and then unsatisfied lust results to anger. Then anger will cause delusion. Then delusion to the bewilderment, to the loss of intelligence. Then fall down. Okay, so these are the 8 steps of the fall down. So we have read in the second chapter only the 8 steps of the fall down in detail. Okay. What is the enemy? The greatest enemy? Lust. So how to control that enemy? Krishna will also tell that. First we should read about the lust. How, what are the types of lust are there? So Krishna is giving 3 types of lust. Yes, Mataji, please say it.
येनाव्रियते वह्निर्यथा दर्शो मलेन च यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भस्तथा तेनेदमावृतम्.
So 3 levels of lust is there. So like fire is covering the smoke. So fire is there. You can see here. Fire is there, which is covering the smoke. So fire is there, but it is covered by smoke. So if little amount of air is there, then this smoke will go away and fire will brighten again. So this is like a person who comes to the Krishna consciousness very beginning. Okay, so you people, many people are there, many neophyte devotees are there who are coming to Krishna consciousness. So they have ignition there. Inside there, fire is there. For Krishna, love is there. But that love is covered by smoke. Okay, that covered by some lust. The lust is compared to the smoke here. So that fire is there, but that is covered by some smoke. Okay, and they are not able to practice Krishna classes. So very early. And when they come into attachment with the association with the devotee, when they start chanting, when they start reading, then gradually what happens? That smoke goes away, and then the fire will come out. Okay, that fire, that Krishna prema will come out. So that is the thing. So we are compared with the fire with the smoke. Okay, the second level is just like a mirror covered by the dust. Okay, so mirror is covered by dust, little bit harder to remove. So the person who are acting in the mode for the Krishna, who are working, okay, and gradually they will develop the love for the Krishna. So those person will be compared with the person like a mirror covered by the dust. And the third, so very ignorant person. So very thick layer of lust is there, and very difficult to remove. So what is that example? That is embryo cover. And this is the tongue. So third embryo is covered by the womb. So very hard, very thick covering is there. So that is very difficult to remove. Okay. So 3 examples are there: fire covered by the smoke, mirror covered by the dust, and the third is embryo covered by the womb. So 3 layers are there. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेणानलेन च.
Thus the wise living entities, pure consciousness, become covered by an eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied, which burns like a fire. So every one person has lust, but covering is different. Okay, so if small covering is there like fire with smoke, but Krishna consciousness that can be removed. Okay, so that fire is compared to the pure consciousness. The covering, the smoke is covered with the smoke is compared with the lust. So smoke is the lust, fire is the pure consciousness, pure Krishna consciousness. Okay. So every one of us have the pure Krishna consciousness, but just it is covering, matter of time, it will come, it will go away. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
इन्द्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिरस्याधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोहयत्येष ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम्.
So layers are there. Okay, so what is the layer? First is the body, first are the senses. Above the senses, mind is there. Above the mind, intelligence is there. And above the intelligence, soul is there. Okay, so this is the hierarchy. Okay, so first, like hairs, it is compared with the hair. The horses. Horses are compared with the senses. And the senses are controlled by the mind. Mind is compared to the reins. Okay, the wires which are controlling the hair. Horses. So these are compared to mind. And the person who is the charioteer, who is the controlling the reins, the wires are called the intelligence. That is, he is controlling the mind as well as senses. And the person who is sitting in this chariot is called the soul. And this chariot is compared to the body. Okay. So body is compared to the chariot, and the horses are compared to the senses. And the reins or the wires are compared to the mind. And the charioteer is compared to the intelligence, and above that intelligence, soul is there. Okay, so these are so what are the sitting places of the lust? So Krishna is describing the sitting places where the lust sits. Okay, so lust can sit in the senses, lust can sit in the mind, lust can sit in the intelligence. Okay, So it starts with the senses only. So 5 senses are there. We have 5 senses and lust to start. So Krishna is giving the method to control the lust. So he told already the lust is the greatest sin of the soul. So how to control? So he's telling about the sitting places where the lust sits. Okay, so lust sits on the senses, mind, and the intelligence. You can read the meaning here. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of the lust. So the lust resides here. Through them, lust cover the real knowledge of living entity and bewilder them. So the soul, that is real soul, is the part and parcel of Krishna. So that real knowledge is there. So these things are covering the souls. Real knowledge is not coming out. Okay. So lust is sitting at the intelligence, lust is sitting at the mind, lust is sitting at the senses. So these 3 places are there for the sitting of the lust. Okay.
तस्मात् त्वम् इन्द्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजहिह्येनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम्.
Therefore, Arjuna, best of Brahmana, in the very beginning curb this great symbol of lust by regulating the senses and slay the destroyer of knowledge and the self-realization. So Krishna is saying very beginning you should control. So what is the very beginning? The hierarchy you have seen at the level of the senses only. So Krishna is saying at the very beginning control the lust by regulating the senses. The word is regulating the senses. So at the level of senses only, if you are regulating, if you are not contemplating on the object of the senses, then this can be controlled. So this is one meaning. Another meaning of very beginning is that we should start bhakti. We should start reading about Krishna. We should start knowing about Krishna at the very beginning of life. So that what happened? That lust is not developed only. That lust is converted to love. Okay, so lust can be converted to love. Okay, so how that can be? After the association of the devotee, after reading, chanting, these will convert the lust into the love. So very beginning of the life only we should read Bhagavad Gita, chanting, association of devotee we should do. And the second meaning is at the starting only, that is the senses level only, we should control our senses. We should not regulate our senses. We should not contemplate about the sense objects only. Okay. So this is the 2 meaning of the very beginning. So Krishna is comparing the 3 degrees of lust. Okay, so lust is there, three types of is there. So that is one is fire with the smoke, dust in the mirror, and boom in the embryo. So fire is compared with the beginning in the Krishna conscious life. So beginning is there. So gradually what will happen? The air will be removed and people will, the original fire, the pure consciousness will be uncovered. Okay. The second level is cleansed by the spiritual methods. So some people are working on the spiritual path. So gradually that the dust over the mirror will be removed. So that is compared with the dust in the mirror. And third is the womb in the embryo. Knowledge completely covers. So they're very, very difficult to remove. Okay. And then characteristics of love is cover living entity pure consciousness. So it will cover like a fire is there and the smoke is covering. So it covers. Second is lust is symbol of ignorance. So lust is the symbol of ignorance. Third is lust is never satisfied. So desires are unlimited, lust is also unlimited. Okay. So satisfying lust is like adding fuel to the fire. So if you're trying to satisfy the lust, okay. So some people will think, okay, we will contemplate the object. We will utilize that sense organs. We will utilize that object of the senses, and we will enjoy it like that level thing. But that is like fueling the fire. If we are fueling the fire, fire will grow more. Okay, so like that. So if the fire is, we are fueling the fire, it will increase, the lust will increase, and that will cause the attachment, and gradually each step to fall down will happen. So we should control at the starting only. Okay. So how to stop it? Stop feeding and let it be free. Okay. So let it die. Stop feeding it and let it die. So if you're not feeding it, it will die. So if you're not contemplating in the object of senses, then lust will die. It will be converted to the love. Okay. So sitting places of lust is senses, mind, and intelligence. Okay. So minds cover all the activity of the senses. So senses are controlled by mind. So it is controlling all the activity of the senses. And reservoir of idea for the sense gratification. So mind has the idea how to, we have previously we have done this, previously we have done that. So he has idea that how to utilize those sense organs in the sense gratification. So mind has that idea. Okay, and if that is perverted, then what will happen? Lusty intelligence will develop. So if we are feeding the lust to the sense organ, then what will happen gradually? Mind is first polluted, then the intelligence will be also polluted. And if intelligence is polluted, intelligence is very, very near to soul. Soul is also become polluted. Soul will acquire false ego. So it is the influence of soul to acquire false ego. You can see here. Souls acquire false ego. Okay. So how to overcome lust? What is the Krishna given the answer? First, at the starting only, beginning only, we should control. Okay. So even a late beginner can become a lover of God by following regulative principle of devotional life. So it is not like that beginning we have not controlled, then we will not be able to control. So better not to waste any time. We should start devotional service. When we should start devotional service? That is the question. So even many people are late. So when we should start the devotional service? If we have not controlled lust till now, so when we should start the devotional service? Answer. When we should start the devotional service? Yeah. Childhood. One person is saying childhood. So some person's childhood is gone. They are in young age. What will happen to those? Some person is answering young age. So some person young age is gone. They are in the old age. What will happen to them? Okay. From the womb. Okay. Some person womb stage is gone. Now we are born, and we are not Krishna conscious. What will happen to us? So the answer is we should start devotional service. When we should start devotional service? The answer is now. Okay, we should start devotional service now. Okay, so it is not like that we have not started in the young age, we cannot do anything. Okay, so we should start devotional service now. One word answer on it. 3 words. 3 letters answer. We should start devotional service now. Okay, we should start at the very beginning, but if we have not started, we should start now. Krishna is saying, in the very beginning, we should start. Okay. Okay, so last, we are already late, so we'll.
इन्द्रियाणि पराण्याहुर् इन्द्रियेभ्यः परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्ध्योर्बुद्धेः परतस्तु सः.
Intelligence and the senses. So hierarchy is being so intelligence. So mind is between the intelligence and senses. Senses is superior to the dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses, and intelligence is higher than the mind, and the soul is even higher than the intelligence. So this is the platform. This is the thing. Okay, controlling the senses. So first thing is, if we are attaching our soul only to Krishna directly, okay, then what will happen? Leave all the intelligence, mind, senses, all those things will be in the streamline. Okay, because we are attaching our soul only to Krishna, then what will happen? All the intelligence will also streamline, mind will also streamline, senses will be also controlled. If we are controlling the mind only, okay, then what will happen? We can control the senses. And if a person mind is not controlled and he is trying to artificially control the senses, what will happen? Fall down is certain for that person, because mind is very, very agitated. Okay, so if you are trying to contemplate on the object of senses using the mind, and you are trying to control the mind, control the senses artificially, then fall down can happen anytime. So better is to engage the soul only to the service of Krishna. Okay, so if you are attaching the soul only to the service of Krishna, what will happen? All the others, all the lower, all the like intelligence, mind, senses, all will be streamlined. So better to engage the soul only directly to the Krishna. That is bhakti platform. Okay, if we are attaching our soul only to Krishna, that is called bhakti platform. So hierarchy of sitting places. So first is the soul, intelligence, mind, senses, and the dull matter, that is body. So we have read. Okay, so the can utilize that, we can convert that lust into love. How? By using the devotional service. Okay, caution. So one caution is even there. So can anyone read the caution? Hare Krishna, can anyone read the caution?
Hare Krishna
Below.
Prabhuji, caution.
Yes.
Even though the soul is the master of intelligence, mind, and senses, unless it is strengthened by Krishna consciousness, there is every chance of falling down due to the agitated mind. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So what is the caution? So even you are controlling the senses and the mind, intelligence, and other things are not controlled, then what will happen? Chances of fall down is there. So better to uh, engage the soul only to the Krishna. So if you are engaging the soul only to Krishna, there is no chance that intelligence, mind, and senses will come down. Okay, because mind is very very agitated. So if we are not giving any work to mind, it will agitate the, it will agitate us. Okay.
एवं बुद्धेः परं बुद्ध्वा संस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मना जहि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम्.
Thus, knowing oneself to be the transcendental to the material senses, mind, and intelligence, O mighty Lord Arjuna, one should steady the mind by the deliberate spiritual intelligence, and thus by the spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. So, how to control that enemy that is called lust? Okay. So, Krishna is saying one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence. So, mind can be controlled by the deliberate spiritual intelligence. How to develop the spiritual intelligence? Spiritual intelligence we can develop if we are reading Shastra, if we are taking the association of the devotee, if we are chanting, then what will happen? Gradually, our intelligence will become sharp and our spiritual intelligence becomes spiritual. Then we can take a right decision. What is correct, what is not correct, what is wrong, what is right. So those we can take. So if our intelligence is well developed, then we can certainly control the mind. Okay. And the best process for sharpening the intelligence is dedicating the soul only to Krishna. So if we're dedicating the soul only to Krishna, if we're serving Krishna, if we're doing the devotional service, our intelligence is also sharpened, our mind is also controlled, and our senses, they will be engaged in Krishna's service. So there is no need of, there is no chance to fall down. So we should act like that. Okay. So spiritual strength is being talked about. Okay. So spiritual strength will develop gradually if we're doing the activity in the Krishna consciousness. Okay. So in this way we can control the enemy, that is insatiable enemy, that is called lust. Okay. And he is this lust is the greatest enemy of the soul. Okay. And Krishna is giving the Krishna is giving the formula to control the senses, okay, by spiritual practice. So we have done with chapter number 3. Four sections were there. This was the last section, that is called lust and anger. So first section was dealing with the confusion. What is good, renunciation or niskam karma? Krishna was giving different reasons. So from karma kanda to karma yoga, what is the difference between karma kanda? Karma kanda is we are not acting for Krishna, and karma yoga is we are acting for Krishna. Okay. Niskam karma means acting beautifully with detachment to set the correct example. So we are doing our duty with detachment and to set the correct example. Even the person who are elevated, they are also doing their duty just to set the example. And fourth is the beware of the lust and anger, and how to control, because these are very very dangerous things. So how to control those things, Krishna also discussed. So this way we have finished the chapter number 3. Okay. So last time we haven't got any question from you from the chapter number 3 part 1. So I hope you are reading. You should finish chapter number 3. If you have any confusion, you can put to the Nandita Mataji. She will be posting the link to post all the questions. So try to read the chapter number 3, or because 1 week gap will be there, 5 days will be there. So read those things, and if any questions come to you at that time, during those times, you can post the chapter, post the question, so that I can answer in the next class. Okay. So if any question is coming to your mind related to this chapter, you can raise your hand or you can ask. Yeah. If any question is there related to this chapter, or if any question is there from this chapter, full chapter, you can ask. Okay, try to read, try to chant regularly, keep chanting. Okay, so that spiritual strength, what we have talked, you can apply in your life if you have a spiritual strength. Okay, you have any question? Yes, Mataji, Nandita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class. Prabhuji, in verse 35, it says, far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Now, this is with reference only to Arjuna's situation and the Varnashram dharma that was being followed, or is it applicable to us even now in our material lives?
So whatever is being, if you read the purpose, what Srila Prabhupada write is not for the Arjuna. Srila Prabhupada write, if you are reading the purpose, that means it is related to us. Purpose Srila Prabhupada writing is for us. Okay, what we can apply from that in our day-to-day life, in our contemporary time. Okay, so purpose is meant for us. Okay, so Prabhupada tries to give the purpose, how we can apply those things for us. So he is saying that we should discharge our duty, whatever way, even if we are doing faultily, sometimes we will be doing the duty faultily. Okay, so there is no problem. We should stick to our duty only rather than commenting on the other duty. So we should not take other duty. We should do our duty. Okay, this and Prabhupada also write, these are for the material platform. Okay, these duty are at the level of material platform only. One person, if become transcendental, then they can then these duty doesn't matter for them. Okay, so if one person become transcendental, there is no need of doing. There is no need of working in the mode of the three gunas. Okay, so he become already transcendental. He is pure soul now. Okay, so there is no need to work in the mode of any modes. Okay, not to work under any mode. So they can work anytime, anywhere, anything. But unless and until we are purified, we should work according to our prescribed duty. We should not prescribed duty means according to our guna and dharma. Whatever we are doing according to our guna dharma, we should stick to that. Okay, we should not think that that person is doing correctly, that person is not doing correctly. So I can do that job very, very nicely. So I should go to that job. Not like that. We should do our prescribed duty. We should not think too much unless and until we are purified. Until we are in material platform, we should act according to that. Once we are transcendental, we are above those platforms, so we can do any karma according to any kshatriya or any brahmana, vaishya, shudra, any work we can do once we become transcendental. But unless and until we become transcendental, we are in material platform, we should act according to our guna and karma only. Okay,
so Prabhuji, this is basically related to our spiritual endeavor in our material life.
Yeah, for the material people, doing the duty is must. Okay, we cannot leave the duty. We cannot take sannyasa unless and until we have purified ourselves. Okay, so this is the thing. So we should work, but with the Krishna consciousness. That is the concept.
But do we belong to any Varnashram system, Prabhu? I mean, like the way we are.
Yeah, Varnashrama system is Varnashrama was meant for the gradual elevation. Okay, so we are not purified. We are a material platform. So how to elevate ourselves? So that is due to Varnashrama system we can act. Okay, so that was the Prabhupada tried to establish the Varnashrama system also. So many endeavors are going on ISKCON to establish the Varnashrama system. So in the near future, we can see, we can apply those teachings also in our life. So according to Varnashrama system, we should act like that. Okay. And in the Varnashrama system, if you see, sannyasa is at the end.
Yes.
Okay, sannyasa is the end. So these three stages before the sannyasa are meant for the purification, so that we can purify ourselves by doing the activities, keeping Krishna in the center. And at the time of sannyasa, we need not to act like that. Okay.
So Prabhuji, one last question. I'm sorry. How can we offer anything when we do something faultily to Krishna? It's
faultily to Krishna. That we should. First thing is Mataji, like If you read the Prabhupada, Prabhupada is giving the example of like wrath is there. Wrath also, like Krodh is there. Krodh is also you can utilize for the service of Krishna. Okay.
Yes.
So if you are doing against the Shastra, that is different thing. That we should not do. That is vikarma. Okay. When we are doing any karma, even wrath is there, even Krodha is there. We can utilize the Krodha if you attach to in the Krishna service. Like he is giving the example of Hanuman. Okay.
Yes.
So Hanuman, by using the wrath, he burned down all the Lanka. Okay. So he was rewarded with the devotion of Ram. Okay. Even Arjuna, he is fighting. So fight can be done in the wrath only. If Krodha is there, his anger is there, then only one can fight. But he is utilizing the Krodha, he is utilizing the wrath. Arjuna is utilizing the wrath for the service of Krishna, because Krishna has instructed him and he is following. So that is the thing. See, even Krodha is there, even wrath is there, we can utilize if we are properly utilizing that thing in the service of Krishna. Okay, Mataji?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Is Niskam karma yoga different than akarma? Akarma, Niskam karma. Yes, both are same only. Niskam karma you are doing, but we are not attaching to the activity, we are doing it for Krishna. Okay.
Unmuted the next person, Prabhuji. Varanasi ji, please.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Namaste Prabhuji.
Yes,
This
Mataji.
this question is about the second and third chapter, where the soul is eternal and the soul takes another body, and whatever karmas that we do, anything that gets carried on to the next life or next life, that is
Yeah.
the Purva Janma Sukritam or what Purva Janma Punya or whatever it is, it gets carried on. That is, it is regularly there in the Puranas. Okay. And another point is that suppose if a person performs wrong actions, and there is a saying say that the children will get affected. It gets passed on to the next generation. Whatever, see, in our Sanatana Dharma, the parents, they not only give properties, they also give debts, and also the papa and punya of all the things to the children. So whatever the papas and whatever the sins that they do, they get carried to the children also. So which is right? That is, suppose a person performs wrong actions, will they get carried to the Purva Janma, next Janma, or will they get carried to the children?
So, yeah, let me explain, Mataji, one thing. That if we are doing anything wrong, that karma is in our account. That is not that our children will take care of that karma. Okay. If we are doing anything wrong, we will get the result. Okay. If you are doing punya karma, you will get the result. If you get pap karma, you will get the result. And there is no one life only. There are multiple life we have been carried. We have been in the multiple life. Okay. And in the future also we have multiple lives. Okay. Multiple body will get, and according to the karma we'll get the body. Okay. Whatever karma you have, whatever desires we have, whatever thinking you have, according to that you will get the body. The next thing is the about the children. What happens to the children? So one thing Prabhupada mentions that we are indebted. Okay, once we take this body, we are indebted. Okay, once we take the body, we are indebted to the parents, we are indebted to the society, we are indebted to the relatives, we are indebted to the guru. So many people are there to whom we are indebted. So that doesn't mean that we will get our father's karma. That doesn't mean we are indebted. Indebted means we are in debt. So we should repay them. So for that we are doing the activity according to our nature. So whatever activities prescribed, that will bring, that will decrease the debt we have got from all these persons. So once we got this body, we also are indebted materially also. For that, we need to do actions. So that is the thing that we need to, some purificatory actions we need. Okay, so that is the thing. So we need to act, and that doesn't mean that your parent, whatever action they have done, that will be carried out to with you. Okay, so this is not permanent. Like parents and child relationship, not permanent. In this life, you are parent and child. Next life, you won't be there. This is like some river is going on, and some logs are there. Wooden logs are there. They come sometimes sometimes they will come together. Sometimes they will go apart, and next time they will be together with another log, okay, another good log. So the relationships are like that. Okay, so it is not like that in one janma you will be father, next janma you won't, again you will be father. In this life you are husband wife, next janma also you will be husband wife. It's not like that. And whatever karma you have done, this is inside you. Okay, this is like a bijam. Okay, aprarabdya karma, it will be in you. Okay, and you will get the result certainly, because Krishna says I'm neutral. Whatever work you are doing, you will get the result, but I am neutral. Okay, so that is the thing. Whatever work you are doing, you will certainly get the result. Try to avoid the sins, Mataji. That is the thing. And it is not like that the son will get the sin of the father. It is not like that. Okay, Mataji.
Okay. I have one more question, Prabhuji. See, that is, in our recently we had a discussion in the family, like we have a family where the father, he did not bother about the society. He just earned money in different ways, and he accumulated money and all in different styles. And
Yes.
that after his death, that today the son is doing all annadanam and everything he's doing when on the day of the death anniversary of the father. So there was a discussion saying that a man is a karmajivi. Karmajivi means as long as you have the body, as long as the soul is inside the body, whatever actions he does, they get carried to the soul, and the soul will enter into the next body, and it will face the actions, the results of this actions of the previous birth. So as a soul, as a soul, it cannot perform any karma, right? As a soul, it cannot perform any karma. So whatever the son does the karma, whatever the son does the karma, that is doing the donations to the orphan, that this and all. So there was a discussion saying that all these things will not go to your father. Instead, it will be there for you. You are going to earn all the punya. In the name of your father, you will be earning all the punya, and this will go to your next birth. Okay. So is that correct, Prabhuji? That is, see, the soul cannot perform any karma. It can only take over the karmas of the body to the next body. Okay. Only the man is a karmajivi and not the soul, right? And whatever we do on the death day of the thing, will it reach the remove the sins of the soul? Will it remove the sins of the soul?
Yes, Mataji. So your question is like, after death, many things are there, many karma the son used to do for the father, and will it remove the karma done by the father? Like that, your question I can rephrase. Is it, Mataji, or something else
Yes,
you
yes,
want?
definitely, sir.
Yes.
And
So
definitely.
because, so one thing is certain, Mataji, whatever work you have done, whatever karma you have done, that won't neutralize. Okay, that won't neutralize. If we have done the bad karma, whatever things you do, that won't neutralize. Okay, only thing for neutralization is you, if you surrender to Krishna. That is because he is the master. He is controlling all the things, all the karma, all the akarma, all the vikarma, all things belongs to him only. Okay, so whatever things you are doing, if you are surrendering, later we read, if when a person has done abominable mistakes, abominable sin, and he started doing the activity, a devotional activity, he is to be treated as saintly person. So that is the thing. So only thing is, we should, if we take surrender to Krishna, then only we can go away from all those sinful activity. Unless and until there is no remedy for that. Whatever you have done, you will have to face. That is for certain. Whatever things you have done, that is for certain that you will face. Okay, and you will get the body according to that. And the second part come as the whatever karma a child does for a father. So what
Yes,
happens
sir.
to that?
So
So
whatever the
there are,
person
yeah, there are many the processes are mentioned in the Vedas. Vedic processes are there. Those are for bodily platform only, Mataji. Okay, so like I was telling about the deputation process. So for that, sometimes I have read that those process will reach father, but they will get the benefits. Sometimes I've read that whatever the sun is doing, that is for their end-deptation process. So the deptation they have for them, for that they are doing. Okay, but one thing is certain: what thing you have done, you will have to face. Okay, so and two types of karma is there, Mataji. One we are doing for the body, one we are doing for the soul. Okay, one is nitya karma is there. So nitya karma is there for the soul we are doing. So we should for the whole Krishna consciousness, whole of the Bhagavad Gita is based on this thing only. Okay, so why we are getting into the other karmas which is meant for the body? Okay, so only that is our prescribed duty. So that is our for the initiation process for the body. So we should do that. Okay, so no problem. But the main focus for ourselves will be to elevating ourselves to Krishna. And one thing is certain: whatever work we are doing, that will that fruit also we have to bear only, and that won't neutralize. Even whatever you do, that won't neutralize. So whatever you are doing, that will remains with you, Mataji. Every time it will be there with you. It is not like that you have done any bad process, any path karma you have done, and then you are doing punya karma, that will neutralize. You will have to face the both actions. Okay, even punya karma you will have to face, even path karma you will have to face. Only process to get out from this is to take shelter of Krishna, to take shelter of the master. Okay, so if you are taking master's center of the master, then all the process, these reactions can be neutralized. That is the thing.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Is it true that by daily devotional chanting and all our depths become cleared and sins was? Krishna is saying, but not like what we are doing. So pure devotional service should be there. So gradually that stage will come. Okay, not like that one day we have started chanting and that will all the sins will be cleared. So pure devotional service will be required for the gym. And that is a gradual process. We will do gradually, and you will see change within yourself. Okay. Yes, Jigna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I just had a question on the back of Vanasi Mataji's question earlier. We try to do our duty as a mother, or as a sister or a wife, but what if no matter what we try, or we try and convince our family, like in my case, I'm trying to convince my daughter about Krishna consciousness. She's aged 15. It seems to me that there is no easier process. Like, I'm unable to make her understand. Don't get me wrong, she's devotional. She does all her puja in the morning. She does before she goes to school, everything. But she does not believe like me doing this Bhagavad Gita right now. She does her chanting as well with me many a times. I'm unable to get her to this level of understanding the Bhagavad Gita, as perhaps I myself have only just started. What could you suggest as an easier process?
Mataji. The thing is, we do all the activity according to the association, what we have learned since childhood, what we have learned, we have seen people with whom we are associating, all things depends on that and depends on karma. So according to karma, person takes birth in a very spiritual family, the family which is very non-spiritual, the spiritual family which gradually starting according to karma, the person takes birth. Okay, so if a very realized person is there, he will take birth in a family of devotee only. Directly from the starting only, he is starting the devotional service. So one line in the Nectar of Devotion, if you read the book Nectar of Devotion, it is written that devotional service is continuation from the last life, from the previous life. So it is not like suddenly you will start devotional service and you will perfect. Not like that. It is continuation from the previous life only. So whatever devotional service you are now having, it is the continuation from the previous life. Okay, so it is not like suddenly you come to this class, you started reading Bhagavad Gita, you doing classes. Not like that. It is from the continuation from the previous family. So your child, we all face difficulty when we try to teach those things to our relative. Why? Because of consciousness. Okay, when a person is there who is taking birth in the spiritual family only, he is seeing in the devotee family only, his parents, his mother, his father is devotee only. So naturally he will become a devotee. And when we give only material things, only material education to the child, what will happen? It will be very difficult to mold them to devotional service. So it will be very difficult. It will take time, not like that it will happen suddenly, and depends on the karma also. So if she has taken birth in the family and you are becoming spiritual gradually, if the karma allows that, mostly I think
Ji
she
Prabhuji,
will
just
become
one.
also spiritual, because you are becoming spiritual, then they will have also the association. So whatever thing we are giving since childhood, the baby, so that will also have affect. Suddenly you start telling her to read Bhagavad Gita. How can she accept? She hasn't seen these things from the early life. Okay, so it will be difficult. Try to imbibe those teachings in your life. Gradually, she will also accept like that. Okay, Mataji. Teach
Yes,
them from your
Prabhuji.
example. Teach them from
Yes,
your example. Okay, Mataji. Not like
yes,
what you're telling. Teach them from the example. Okay.
Ji, so, just one more question, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So I myself was with yourself on level 1 of Bhagavad Gita reading, and I've now come to this Bhagavad Gita reading level 2. I understand from my first level that chanting, even you, as you said, even if you just chant one round is enough. But I have gradually built myself up to be chanting more. But I am doing this whilst, if I'm driving to work, or if I'm working within my house, I'm still continuously chanting. Is that the wrong way to do it?
Yes. What happened, Mataji? There is a when we are chanting, we are remembering Krishna. Okay, so it is good that we are engaging our tongue and our ear to Krishna, but we should also engage our mind also. Okay, so try to chant on the beat. Try to give a separate time for the Krishna. Okay, so even if you're chanting 16 rounds daily, here and there, going and chanting, try to give certain rounds, certain fixed round to Krishna, so that your mind is also engaging to Krishna by listening to the chanting you're doing. So chanting we do through the tongue, and through the ear we hear. So try to engage those things. Try to take separate time for Krishna. Okay, so that is good that we are engaging our tongue whole day to the Krishna. That is different thing, but we should take certain time also to engage our mind to Krishna. Even if one round is there for level 1 and level 2, that is enough. We'll gradually increase the rounds. Okay, try to increase every Ekadasi. Try to increase one round, 2 round, like that. So, because Ekadasis, these are very, very pious. If you are having Ekadashi Vrata, on that day you can increase very easily. Okay, so try to
Hare
increase
Krishna, Prabhu.
gradually,
Thank
but
you so
try to
much.
give time for separate time for Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Can I please ask you one last question, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
If you don't mind. I'm so sorry to test your patience. Prabhuji, we are all God conscious, becoming Krishna conscious. It's been late, agreed, but we've started. And we see in our own, we see that there are very bad people who commit very horrible acts, like criminals. And we don't see many of them being punished, or I know Krishna is watching everybody's actions, but it doesn't happen during our lifetime or their lifetime. They live luxurious lives. They have, they have all material possessions. They don't, they don't suffer in any way. And do we console ourselves by saying that they'll pay for it in their next lives because Krishna is keeping an account?
Yes, so your question I can reframe, Mataji, as why do good thing happen to the bad people and why bad thing happen to good people?
Very
Exactly.
bad, Prabhuji,
Yes.
sometimes.
So this is the thing. So if you read Nectar Devotion, Mataji, every action we do, if any bad activity we do, the 4 stages are there. Okay. So first stage is like Beesam. So we are thinking of doing some bad activity. Okay. So that is called Beesam. And then there will come Papam. So if our thinking is there, we will do the bad activity. Okay, so second stage is Papam. First is Beesam, second is Papam. Then third stage called Aprarabdhya. Aprarabdhya means the results which are not fructified yet. So the person has not get the result yet. So that is called Aprarabdha stage. Okay. And from the aprarabdha stage, if the person is not getting the result, what will happen? Then that desire of doing the papa will increase. If a thief is there and he is doing the thief activity and he is not getting caught by the police, what will happen? He will become a dacoit next time. Okay, he will do bigger sins, like that. So first is the beesam, we have sinful tendency that is coming to the papam. Okay, that we are doing the bad activity. And aprarabdha, if that stays, it is not fructified, that result we have not got, then what will happen? It will convert to kutam. Kutam means more desire. Okay, so and more desire, we will do the again more activity, like that. So if these cycles continue, what will happen? The person will be doing more and more pap activity. And one more stage is there, that is called prarabdha. So aprarabdha was there, where the results were not given, the results were not there. So prarabdha stage, the result stage. Okay, so when the results come, when the person gets result, then that is called prarabdha stage. So it is not like that the prarabdha stage won't happen. So we have so many lives. So previously we have so many lives, future will have so many lives, unlimited lives, uncountable lives we have. Okay, so we are accumulating those sinful activity, we are accumulating those papa activity within us. Okay, and according to that we will get result. It's not like that we won't get result. And when aprarabdha stage is there, then people sinful tendency will increase and they will perpetually go down. Okay, so like that. So is there, Mataji, that it is not like we need to console. We are not seeing that doesn't mean that it won't happen. Many good people also, you will see that bad reactions they have. Why they are getting bad reaction? If they are doing good activity, so some life they have done bad activity, that is getting converted into the now reaction, that is fructifying now. So beesam is like seed. Okay, beesam, papam, the activity, the fruit is, you can in the not fructified stage. So there is a tree, but fruits are not there. So fruits will happen sometime. So if you sow a plant like mango plant, it will take time for the fruits. It is not like that, Prabhuji, we are not getting fruit today, we have planted today, we are not getting fruit today, we have planted today, we are not getting. Fruits will be there, but it will take time. And it is not like that you have sown the mango seed, you will get banana. It is not like that. Whatever you have sown, you will get that one. Okay, that is the thing. So it will take time for the fructification of the fruit. So it will take time the plant to grow. It will take time for the fructification process. And we don't have one life, we have multiple life according to our desire. So we'll get the result. Certainly we'll get the result. It's not like we won't get the law of karma state. So if you see this nature, this nature is not working by chance. It is not like someone is doing something and he's not getting this, someone is doing something and not getting this. Not the world is not like like this. This is not like chance. Everything is planned. So whatever thing you are doing, you will get the result. Like just like in the mobile. Okay, so some software is there. So you will touch that button, you will get the result. Okay, if you touch that button, you will get the result. Okay, so this is called planned thing. So this nature is working under planned way. Okay, this is not like this is unplanned, something has happened suddenly and something is happening. This is not like that. Everything is planned. So much of universe, even for handling one mobile, we need such good software. For working of this whole atmosphere, whole universe, there must be some plan, some master plan should be there. Okay, it is not by chance, it cannot happen by chance. So everything is working under certain plan, that master plan. And whatever work we are doing, whatever action we are doing, we will get the result for certain. Krishna is also telling, whatever work we are doing, we will get the result for certain. Okay, Mataji.
So for those bad acts that these,
I will get the result, Mataji. We don't have to too much contemplate about those things. What we should do is we have read earlier only. We should do titikshana. Titikshana is we should tolerate. We should tolerate. So man, apman is there, Seet, Ushna is there, Sardi, Garmi is there. Everything will be there, up and downs will be there. But we should tolerate, because if we are bewildered by these things, we cannot shift our attention to the devotional service. So we should tolerate those things and we should shift our attention to the devotional service. Okay, Mataji?
thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Actually, for this particular question, I also have a practical example, like
Yes, Mataji, please.
the endowments department, Previously, just 10 years, 15 years back, there were no internet and no digital elements. So people used to eat a lot of endowment money. And all the politicians, ministers, and all the people, whoever ate that endowment money of various temples, all that Hundi temples and all that money who ate, they suffered the worst. They suffered the worst in the later days. They lost their positions, they lost their status, they suffered with heavy diseases and all. Also, actually, that they ate off lot, that endowments department. Only P.V. Narasimha Rao, the previous prime minister, he was one of the ministers of endowments department once, and he developed all the temples in his tenure. For 5 years, he developed all the tenures. He did not eat even a single, and he was promoted to the prime minister. He did a lot of service to the country, and he died prestigiously. So actually, God will be watching us, the things. He'll be watching. But the only problem is, my children, they keep asking me one question. See, if you read Bhagavatam, God will be doing immediate miracles. One devil comes in one shape, immediately Lord Krishna, he kicks the devil. Another one comes in wind. Kali, the Kali and Kali Mardanam, he does Govardhanam. So many things he does. But in a real life, if you keep reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam, or if you keep reciting Bhagavad Gita or anything, not a miracle is shown. Whatever we do, suppose if I don't write my exam properly, suppose I beg the God at least to pass me, but I will be failed because I have not done the exam properly. So these type of, I will not see any miracles. So that's what my son, he says, no, why is it that I recite? My son has been reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam right from the age of 4th class, that is from 9 years. He keeps on reciting even to this very day. But he says, why my life is like this? Why God is not giving me direction? He's not giving me direction. He's just, when I say he's just karma sakshi, he just watches you. If you ask for direction, he will give you direction. But if you have to do your duties properly, if you have to study to 100%, you have to write the exam. But if you fail to do it, in what way Lord God is responsible for your failure? When a question like this, he says, no, when in Bhagavatam, when he could do so many great things, when he could save so many people, why he is not saving me? So for this type of questions, see, the present generation, they are very fast. They want some materialistic results, materialistic wonders, and that is, they want any fast results. So even with the Lord also, they say that Lord Krishna is not like that. When I say Lord Krishna is not a magician, he only gives direction. When I say this, he is not accepting. He says, then why not I shift myself to some other god? Where if I do some puja, I'll get some result. If I recite something, I'll get some result. Why? But demigod, but Lord Krishna, sir, I think you can understand my problem.
Yes, I can understand, Mataji. It's very difficult to teach the children unless and until we are self-realized, and we cannot directly. Even if we are self-realized, we have not shown them the example. Okay, so this is called teaching them by example. Okay, so teach them by example, not today, not today. If you have taken so many days. If the child is born in devotee family, we can understand. Even though some child is born in the devotee family, some fault can happen. Okay, if they are because of their previous karma. So many things are in consideration, Mataji. So try to first is imbibe the teaching inside you. The first thing is inside you. If you are imbibing teaching, then only you can impart the teaching. So first you become the environment, then you can preach. So even if you are not a self-realized soul, if you are not realizing yourself, then you cannot teach only. So that is the thing. So first qualification of teacher is the teacher should teachers should apply those teachings in their life. Then only they can teach. That is the thing. So try to apply the teachings in your life. Gradually you will be able to teach. Mataji. One more question is in chat box. Mataji, can you read the chapter question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhuji, today air crash happened when the people traveled from Pokhara to Johnson to have darshan of Lord Muktinath. Why did this happen when they were on their way to see God?
Okay, so some devotee, I'm giving the example of devotee. Even some devotee get killed. Okay, so what happens to those? Okay, so if the devotee is serving God and he is killed, Krishna is saying, if you are working for me and you get killed, what will happen? You are thinking about me, you are working. Then what will happen? You will come directly to me. Okay, so if they are real soul, if they are working for Krishna, then that is the best they can get. Okay, so I've read one example also that one prayer, I don't remember who had done that prayer. He was saying, God, I am in fully working stage. My mind is working very perfectly. My senses are working very perfectly. I can eat, I can see, I can do all the things very perfectly. I can remember you, I can chant now. So I should, why should not I give my life now only by remembering you? When I become old, then it will be too difficult to remember you. Then it will be too difficult to chant the name. It will be, but many diseases will be there in the body. So it will be difficult at that time. So why should not I leave the body now when I'm remembering you so that I can get you? Okay. So like that, one prayer was there. So this is the thing. So if they are pure devotee, Prabhuji, and if they are in the God conscious state when they are leaving their body, then they should attain their spiritual dham. So what is the problem? I cannot see any problem. So if they are not true devotee of Lord, if they are just doing like punya karma, they are accumulating. We are going to dham, we are going here, and they are just to accumulate punya karma. If they are doing like that in the material platform, there is a there will be results according to that only. So that is the thing. So one previous karma, if we are getting killed also, that is due to our previous karma. It's not like that we are starting some punya karma, we are going to dham, and if we are killed, then what is the reason? So it is not like that. So if we have done any punya karma and pap karma, we will get the result. Okay, like that. If they would have attained mukti from the cycle of birth and death, if they are in God conscious state, if they are pure state, okay, and if they are really going to for the devotional service, then they will get. Okay, Mataji. Many times we see people, the devotee, while they are doing service, they get killed. Okay, they get killed, and now they are leaving their body like that. So if they are leaving the body in God conscious state, directly they will attain the God. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, I hope your all answers got set. You're over. Okay, so I hope these are the questions related to the karma. Okay, so whatever we are doing, we'll get. This is the fix. Whatever we have done, we'll get the result. Only thing you can get over from these is devotional service. Okay. Yes.
Wonderful,
Prabhu.
wonderful. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
so
Hare
much. It was so
Krishna.
beautiful explanation, and I
Hare
really
Krishna,
loved it.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So your work is for 5 days. You should read the chapter. If you have any question, you can put in the question and try to do the quizzes. Okay, and try to chant regularly. Try to read one book per day. Something you should read per day. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So we'll meet next week.
Yes, thank you so much,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much.
Happy week, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.